So Benavidez stops Andrade inside the distance, forces him to retire in his corner. Listen, another great performance by David Benavidez. Now, the question that everybody's asking, that I have been asking for quite some time, is if he's ready for a Canelo Alvarez, who has just defeated recently Jermell Charlo, the 154 pounder, going up to 168. Um, Listen, there's no better time. I mean, there's what other excuse slash fighter deserves a shot at Canelo? Like Jamal Charlo? I mean, he looked good. He did look good in his fight, given the circumstances being him being out for like 3 years or so. But at the end of the day, listen, this is what the people want to see, and I've been seeing a lot of Canelo fans slash David Benavidez haters saying that Canelo would obliterate him, trying to point out weaknesses in Benavidez's game, you name it. Trying to discredit Benavidez's skill set, which I think is stupid. But even if they were right, why wouldn't you want Canelo to fight him then? There's you telling me that Jermell Charlo deserved the fight with Canelo more than Benavidez? I don't think so. And if your argument is he's not good enough, or he has too many weaknesses, or whatever you want to call it, then why hasn't Canelo, you know, tried to fight him by now? He's a mandatory, if I'm not mistaken. We've seen a lot of times that Canelo, when he fights a below average fighter, but somehow, some way, a mandatory for Canelo. That's his first excuse. Listen, this is my mandatory. I need to fight him because he's my mandatory. Well, Benavidez is your mandatory now. So now what? Now you gotta fight him. Simple as that. But I think Benavidez has all the tools to beat a guy like Canelo Alvarez. Although I will still favor Canelo in a matchup between these two gentlemen, just based on the experience and him being in the game for so long and him seeing practically every style that the sport of boxing has to offer. I'll give him an edge in the odds more. I want to say like a 60-40 in his favor, 55-45 maybe even. But that's not to say that Benavidez can't beat him. Benavidez has everything he needs to beat a guy like Canelo Alvarez. He has the activity, the punch selection, the aggressiveness, right? Everything he needs to really give Canelo problems. But now it's only a matter of time before Canelo can't, I don't want to say run, but avoid Benavidez. Because everybody was under the impression once Canelo signed a 3-fight deal with PBC, everybody was saying, oh, well, here we go. It's Benavidez time. See you in September or Independence Weekend. And we ended up getting Jermell Charlo, a very, very, I'll say an fight. I wasn't really impressed. I mean, I was impressed with his performance. I wasn't really impressed with Charlo's performance. I didn't feel like he gave Canelo a good fight. He was really just backing up, and that just goes to show that weight classes exist for a reason, right? But listen, I want to see this fight. Who I'm rooting for, I'm not exactly rooting for anybody. I just want the best fights for boxing, right? I want the best fights for the sport, and I want to keep growing the sport. So I feel like Benavidez and Canelo will be almost like the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence of 2024. The fight that everybody needs to see ASAP. Now, whether the result ends up being like Crawford and Spence, that's a different story. But at least give us a shot to look at it, right? I mean, answer our questions. Show us the fight. And that really comes down to the decision of Canelo, because let's be honest, Canelo is a shot caller. He has been for some time now. He will fight whoever he wants, and he will still make a gazillion dollars like he usually does, right? Money will never be the issue. At this point, would be if Canelo is willing to take the quote unquote risk and find a guy as dangerous as Benavidez, who's he's still young. He's 12, still, what, 26 years old or whatever. So this guy is in his prime, or at least starting to enter it, which is even more crazy considering how good he is now. But we will have to see what the future holds for these two fighters. I doubt this fight gets made for Cinco de Mayo weekend, according to what I've been hearing on the internet and all that other stuff. But bring us the fight. I wanted to have it no later than Independence weekend in September, right? But yeah, man. Let me know what you guys think. Does Benavidez have a chance against Canelo? And if so, how does he win?